It's live. How's the sound?
We about to check right now. I think the only way for me to check that if I had headphones in.
Is it too early?
Let's see.
Is it
Oh
too
yeah, no, we got
early?
sound. We got sound. But you have to check the chat for us. No, we probably need another device so we can share it.
What you mean? Oh,
Then again, I can just do this probably. No, I ain't even got that downloaded.
mm. How's the background, Bree? See the bridge? Don't see the bridge?
Oh yeah, we probably would have sat over there.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, that's all right. Because we right in the shade. You go didn't help. Mhm.
Shoot. At least ain't super hot neither.
I know. I'm just sweating just because.
Like, listen, if you joined in, make sure you hit that notification bell so you know next time we up. Yes, sir. You know where you want to be headed first?
Well, I thought you had the agenda.
I
mean,
got a
we
little
could.
bit.
Oh, that's
You
what you
might,
got.
you might, you might have something you wanna.
Oh, yeah, it's probably some
Let
stuff.
me
Oh, I
see.
got it.
That's all I got right there.
Let me see what you got. What you want? Where's you at? Where at? I made me take my glasses off so I can see. Yeah, go ahead, start it. Then I'll just slip in there.
You able to see if the comments come up? Probably.
It comes up on this side.
Mm. Got a comment? Let us know. Well, listen, welcome back to another episode of Knicks Morning Coffee. You know what I mean? We live, so you'll get this notification. You might see this later. A little easier, it's nice out, feeling good. You know what I mean? If you ain't been drinking before 12, you ain't been drinking all day. What time is it? Listen,
11:57.
last week I was gonna come on here and talk mess and say, Knicks, I know you didn't do this without a plan. But it looked like they had one. Not quite. I think the improvise is good. You know what I mean?
I mean, you think
I think the improvised.
yeah, where we sit definitely wasn't a plan. I mean, it might have turned out good. So, but it definitely wasn't no plan. Nowhere in this whole script was it a plan. We didn't plan on. We like the outcome, but
we don't love the outcome.
nah, that's not why you. I mean, we like you. I mean, you live with it. I live with it. You know, could have been worse. It helps you. Don't hurt you. It don't leave you stagnant, and it don't lower your standards. It elevates it. So, in that standpoint, which we know they're not done. So, we want to go first before I jump around.
I mean, we can start with Mike Brown is the new head coach of the New York Knicks.
All right.
He's the new one we call coach. I was skeptical, you know what I mean, because I'm not familiar with every coach in the NBA and how they move, unless they either coach the Knicks or they coach the team that won of recent years, not even what they did. So a lot of people speak high of Mike Brown, and a lot of people, not that they don't speak high about him, he's stubborn. He's in that stubborn category with tips. You know what I mean? Like, I think that his big thing is accountability. How is that going to go well with the Knicks? I don't know.
I mean, my take is first we have to go back to, we love our management, but the irresponsibility of, regardless of what was going on, firing Tibbs without a real plan. We had a plan based on 3 coaches that was already under contract. That's not a real plan unless you had some under the table deal. Now, with that being said, with all the coaches that were available to them at this point, Mike Brown to me is the more logical choice. I would have personally liked to have seen Malone, who Denver fired
Yeah,
a while back.
and that's who everybody sold me on. But I thought he was another stubborn person.
Could be. I'm not. My only reason for not the fact that he was a championship coach too. My only reason was that in their offense, all 5 guys was involved.
Mm,
You know, all through their team, all through their game. It wasn't
mm,
like it was only their center and point guard.
mm,
Everybody had a chance to shine within the game, and that's got to be a thing of your head coach.
mm.
But getting back to Mike Brown, once I started looking at more stuff, because I put him in
I
the
was about,
same,
yeah,
I put him in the same clone as Tibbs too.
yeah, but and see what you about to say. That's what I was thinking in my head. They sold me. The Knicks fans, the media, y'all sold me on Mike Brown when we signed him. I was nervous. I hit the chat. I hit you. I was like, are we supposed to be happy? Like, I know he's a good coach, but was this the right fit for the Knicks? And then you see the videos on him coaching other teams and the players we got now that speak high of him, and even Kobe and them. It's like, damn, this is another coach who we need. But is it defensive minded? Is it offensive minded? Is it like what the Pacers coach name is like? Is he gonna coach the bless you? Is he gonna coach the way we want
Well,
the Knicks to be ran?
well, what I seen, the reason why I'm so high on it now, because now you always got to go back and do your research. And then what I started discovering the past, couple of days is that, yes, of course, we know he's a defensive-minded coach. And of course, LeBron and Kobe are going to love you because they get to do what they want.
Mm,
Who ain't going to love a coach let you do what you want? But when I started looking at some of the clips that was coming up
mm,
of how he coaches the offense,
mm,
in a timeout, he'll take input from the players. He'll let his assistant coaches oversee the offensive plays if they see something he don't see, and he asks their opinion. Now we know Tibbs, he just called timeout and he went straight to the play. It was you talk in practice. During the game, you don't have nothing to say. So he has more of a different approach. And then they say, I don't know who this James Borrego guy, I don't know if he's assistant with Minnesota or with OKC,
mm,
who's supposed to be an offensive guru type coach,
mm,
that he's trying to get permission to get on his staff.
mm.
But I did like the fact that he's open to the players having a suggestion during the timeout. So we need that. We need a coach that's flexible, because if you got an offensive assistant who can diagram something,
Mm,
and you got players that say, okay, this one, they'll be better in that situation.
mm,
That's what we need. That would have really helped us tremendously
mm.
down the stretch of this last game.
Right.
So now I'm starting to fall in love with the idea all of a sudden
Mm.
of Mike Brown.
And I just hate being sold on something. So like Knicks Fan TV, CP put out when we got Mike Brown. They said this is what the Knicks want. So one of the things was to maximize the roster talent, right? Collaborative with the front office, and a big emphasis on player development. And these are the key things I think we focus on. If you put it all in a bubble, that we focused on when we had Tibbs.
Now,
The big emphasis on player development.
go ahead.
That was one of the big things. We don't see our rookies come in, but like McBride maybe. So if you want to put that player development, was it really development, or is he just playing at the potential that he already got?
Nah, we always need a developmental coach. Like, we didn't have that even before Tibbs.
Mm,
But the 3 things that what you just mentioned that CP the franchise had said, that's what going into when you get a new coach, that goes into every scenario.
mm,
Maximize a talent. Okay, we had to get a veteran coach to maximize our veteran players who still are really just hitting their prime.
right.
So you need that. 2, being in line with management. That's always going to be the case in the front when we're hearing about he's going to be able to pick his own staff, although he might choose to pick some of the ones that are already there. And then 2, development. That's something you wish for out of every coach. But that also goes with your assistant. But you don't develop players until you put them in a position during a game to make changes. And they say that our new coach is willing to make the changes within the game. So if you're going to get all 3 of those, yeah, but that's what you want. And everybody says that when you first get a coach.
I mean, and collaborative with the front office, because we also said throughout the year with these new guys is that you bring these players in and they don't even see the court. You know what I mean? So the guys that we happy about that we getting with Tibbs, they not even seeing playing time. Now there are some exceptions like Landry Shamet that got some playing time, then he got hurt. But I don't know if that was due to us already having injured players. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
maybe they should have had a better role on what they was doing.
Yeah,
But that
that's the
was one
key.
of the things where
Yeah, that's the key. The role.
at maximizing roster talent, which I think that's more so a front office thing. You know what I mean? Which I feel like since they got there, they've been doing.
Well,
And even when we questioned it,
all the front office could do is get the players in there. It's up to the coach
to play them
to not just play them, but play them to their strength. That's what we argued about
with Tibbs.
at the end of the season. Is that, but that's historically from the Knicks, way long before Tibbs. We don't bring in people and use them for why we went and got them. You know, you go draft a guy for a reason, and then all of a sudden you get him, and you just say, okay, we only want you to do this. You bring in a high-powered scorer on or off the bench. Excuse me, and we say, okay, we only want you to do this. So that's already been our problem. But we need it right. We need a coach online with management, but we also need a coach who we don't want management coaching the players once we got them. But if he's giving me things I need, yeah, coach should be able to use that. But management should never be able to tell a coach, this is who I want you to play, even if we think they should play. I want that full autonomy that when I see you fit to get on my court, then you get on my court. But Tibbs just don't let you play to your strength.
Right. So one of the big things, even with getting the coach, speaking of maximizing the roster talent, we making added additions to the bench. Right. So I know last year my big thing was you need a center, like real centers. So not only we got Mitch back healthy, I think they re-signed or extend the contract or whatever, Hawk Porty, right? And then we signed this guy, Gertchan Yabusele from the Sixers.
Yeah, learn that name.
Yeah. And he's another one, like I'm sold on us having him. You know what I mean? Like I see the videos, I see how he plays with intensity. He's another one that fits that new Knicks attitude. Like they're going to play hard for the whole, 32 minutes?
Yeah, the whole 48.
48?
Or the 20 or whatever he gonna get. But
yeah,
I'm high on that. I'm high on that addition because I wanted him last year and the year before when we started seeing what he was doing with Philly 2 years ago when we played him. That little bit of time he was getting, and New York fans is gonna love him. They're gonna embrace him how they did Josh Hart. And the fact that he's not a true center, but that he can play center, which means we can move him around in the front court, on and off the bench according to injury.
And it's like an upgrade from Precious.
Right. I love this. It's everything. I love everything about this guy. Getting him because he's gonna go get his, and he's not just gonna wait around and hide behind the offense. He's gonna make himself a part of the offense one way or another. So I like that about him. So I'm like really big on that. Big on that.
And before I get into the next player, I just want to say, like, it's been a couple years now, and every time I think, and I don't know if this is the media, but it's always like it feels like they want us to be the old Knicks, and then we get sucked into that idea. Pause. Like Shams, like with the trying to get Antetokounmpo, and LeBron James could have came and all this kind of stuff. It's almost like y'all want us to be the old Knicks. You know what I mean? Or even like the different coaching suggestions. It's like, this is what y'all want from us?
Yeah.
It's almost like we not even giving Leon and World Wide West the proper credit. And I think we should start giving them the proper credit, because even when we think like, damn, what did y'all just do? It comes out to be better, even though a lot of this stuff is like almost like they're selling us on the Brunson. At first, some people will question it, but then it's like they sold us on him. Like he not being utilized to his potential, or he got more in the tank. And then, which is right, Josh Hart, the trade with Mikal, Anthony Towns, like y'all quick to throw away Towns when we don't make it to the finals.
Yeah.
But then when Tibbs is fired, it's like, oh, what? Like, why would y'all do that?
Yeah.
I don't think we get to the finals probably without Towns.
Yeah, no, we definitely, of course. I don't think nobody
You know
argue
what I
that.
mean? Even if it was Randall, we don't get to the finals without that other guy. But y'all quick to give up on a player, but because Tibbs, you know what I mean? Tibbs had what 3 years, 4 years,
5 years.
5, even better. 5 years. The
Yeah.
job ain't.
I
They
mean,
said they
well,
wanted. They said they want a winning franchise, and
we,
the job wasn't complete. So
but he put us on the winning path. So
yeah, and we love them for that. But
right, and a few shakes here and there,
mm,
it could be us. Because again, if Indiana could take OKC 7,
mm,
what could a healthy Knicks team do against OKC? But going back to with Leon and them sticking to their guns, I don't necessarily believe it was Leon and West who didn't want KD. You talk
oh yeah,
about
that
getting
was the
old
other one.
guys.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was management, and I'm glad he did that because no, even now with Giannis and we don't need nobody driving. Giannis is sort of still young, but we don't need nobody driving the price up using our name. We don't need nobody agents doing that. When they had a chance to come to us, they didn't come to us. But I would believe that if it was up to Leon and West, they would grab them players.
yeah, and it changed the whole dynamic of the team. And I feel like y'all just wanted not y'all, but the media, they want us to be even Stephen A. It's like you want us to be the old Knicks so bad that you will make stupid moves for no reason. Like I don't believe Stephen A. think KD is the answer.
Well, he would have helped.
He
There's no
helps.
doubt he would have helped.
I
Depending on what
said
he was
he
giving
helps,
up.
but we talking finals.
Yeah, no, if we wasn't giving up, depending on what we were giving up, he definitely would have helped. Ain't no, we're not taking that from KD. We just saying we're not gutting our team for you.
Yeah, that's that. But that's
But
what
if
I
it was a
mean.
way to add you, maybe of course you got to lose something. But nobody's giving away the whole farm for your 1 or 2 years, of you scoring 35
Give away
points
all
a
these.
game.
My thing is give away all these players, and all of a sudden his big toe hurt. I ain't got time for that.
His ego would have been hurt because the media would have been all over him. Yeah.
And then got to bring out the burner account again. I don't got time for that with KD. You know what I mean? And then I don't even feel like we got the players that could say anything to KD.
Nah, we don't
You
got
know what I
them
mean?
players.
Like I like KD, but it seemed like nobody could say nothing to you. If that's the case. And then so we get another guy, Jordan Clarkson. Knicks fans already love him right away.
Yeah.
That wasn't even a question.
Yeah.
Bench already better.
Instantly.
Ain't a doubt about it. I ain't even got nothing to say about him.
No, I do. I'm looking at, you have a guy, like say if we didn't get him and Bradley Beal got bought out and willing to come off the bench, I say go for Bradley Beal, right? But being that we got him, who's a combo guard, who looks for his shot, who could run the team, rather it's fast break or up and slow up and down, can consistently hit the outside shot, and decent active defender.
I think he could be
So,
probably. It looks like he could be erratic sometimes, like J.R. Smith.
Nah,
Like
sometimes
he
but you need that though.
He got to shoot himself out of the slump.
You need that because that's what brings creativity in your team. We don't want to be robots. We want a guy to get a foot in the paint and make some moves and draw the defense. And that's not his total game, but he'll dictate whatever the defense is doing. He'll do the opposite. And that's the kind of people that we need. And I love Deuce. And even though they both combo guards, if he gets Deuce minutes, I ain't mad at it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I always like this guy. And these are the type of players like Shamet that you have to go out and get every chance you get. Every chance you get to get a player like that who know how to play basketball. There's no bad scenario to put him in because he know how to play basketball. So to me, that's even a bigger signing than Yabusele. And I'm gonna get that name right if I don't got it right now because I'm already in love with this dude. But he's just as a big of a sign because even when Brunson come down and take 20 or the 24 seconds, when he get the ball, he gone. He gone, and he's not gonna forget about the guys around him who's open, who need the ball. So kudos to the Knicks for pulling off. You stole those two players. Now you didn't steal them from Philly. Philly only offered Yabusele a 2 point something of the minimum contract. So we offered him the vet minimum of the $5 million. Luckily for us, he took a little bit less that we can now add a player at the mid-level reception
Mm,
because he took a less.
mm,
Mind you, Yabusele took less and rather go to Denver Nuggets.
mm.
That's saying something right there.
I mean, we trying to win, and when you got a winning franchise, these players are already telling you, you know who's ready for business and who's not.
Yeah, yeah,
Like you know who's when you go to the team who's in a rebuilding stage, and it's kind of like chill mode, and who's like, nah, this is like pedal to the metal. And Knicks is saying like, nah, this is what we want, and this is what we came to get.
yeah. We picked up two clones, two guys who are going to match Josh Hart's energy, which
Mm.
will trickle down to the other players.
All right.
So I know we're supposed to be on Clarkston, but just I married the two now together.
Yeah, that's
You
what I
know,
do too. Yeah.
because it's going to be like getting two more Josh Harts with more offensive skill.
Mm.
That's what these two picks mean for us. And if they don't do nothing else, we're already better.
Mm.
Although we have to get a shooter
Mm.
with that mid level. So that mid level, is that bringing back Shamit,
Mm.
or is that going out to get another shooter? You know, and I say I love Shamit. If you're gonna bring him back, of course bring him back. But if not, go out and get a big 6'9", 6'10" stretch guy that could just knock down threes.
Mm.
You know, go out and get that.
Or everybody just got to shoot better.
Well, yeah,
Or
you
at
still
least,
you what you
or at
still
least
need,
take the shot.
but you still need a bona fide 3-point shooter on your roster.
Mm.
You can't win without having that. You know, and now mind you, Boston, one of their Hauser is going to be available.
Mm.
So, you know, why not? You're not going to get Pritchard. You know, he's in their staple. But
Mm.
Hauser at one point I thought was a better shooter than
Mm.
Pritchard. So what if a guy like that becomes available and you can get him for that price? I
Mm.
jump on him, and I dare somebody not to use him for his skill set.
Mm.
You know, it'll be like having Novak
Mm.
without the swagger.
Mm.
That's what it would be like. So we sitting in a good spot. I don't know if you want to touch on the rookies, but we sitting on a good spot.
Yeah, I ain't even got the rookie's name, but I know one of the rookies that we got. I don't even know if he's really a rookie.
Dink Pate.
Dink Pate, yeah. And I was saying, I was telling him I was watching this documentary with Shaq, about Reebok, and he's looking for players that can be the next top star, top thing going to the league. And he ended up saying like, I want the top players in the G League, WNBA, and all, what I mean, in different spaces. And then he came across this dude, Dink Pate. And the first thing I said in my head is like, damn, why we just can't get no player young like this that's explosive, get to the hole, score, you know what I mean? Plays like what, like a guard forward kind of position. And we just throw him out there and he just does whatever, like how Jordan Poole was.
Yeah.
And sure enough, we get him. Now, is he going to be on the team? I don't know. Because our team look pretty stacked right now
Yeah.
with Pacome Dadier and Tyler Kolek and all these players we had last year.
Well,
So it's almost like with the rookies, I know they said player development is one of the things, but how do we now manage these players that I think a lot of these players that we got potential. Ariel Hockporty, Tyler Kolek, even that dude Dink Pate, if we keep him.
and I remember our 51st.
Everybody loves Pacome Dadier. I don't see him like that. I think he'll fall short to me, but there's another guy that I guess we got that's a big.
D-Aware, something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he might stay overseas.
Mm.
But he's like a 6'8" wing, and he has potential.
Mm.
And they say they're gonna sign one of their second round picks.
Mm.
So they may sign him and still stash him overseas,
Mm.
or sign him and put him in the G League.
Right.
But one of them is getting signed for sure.
Mm.
But that Dink Pate guy, which I didn't know he was a friend of Melo's.
He is.
Yeah. You have to keep him, because when they try to say his upside, his upside is already there. He
Mm.
just maybe don't have the NBA experience, but
Mm.
he has the tool of the new, like you say, Shea, Ja Morant. He has those type of tools. So when you get a guy with them type of tools in this new NBA, and it's even changing from that, you got to hold on to this guy. I don't care how you do it. I don't care how you do it. Don't let him get away yet. You might can't use him yet, but don't let him get away yet, because all of our top guys in a couple of years, a decision going to have to be made on them.
Mm,
We got too many young guys to just let go by the wayside and
mm.
not benefit off of them. Okay, we can't use them all right now between this year and last year's draft class, but we can't give them away neither.
Yeah, I know.
We got to hold
I
patient.
mean,
They got to hold patient another year or two.
and my thing is it'd be hard to play him, but somehow somebody like him, you gotta sneak minutes in there for now. And maybe lose McBride minutes, maybe. I don't know.
Listen,
I mean, so with the players we got, what we got? We got like a 9-man rotation already.
listen.
With the players we got,
Take McBride and dangle him. See what you can get, because I love McBride.
Yeah, because Tyler Kolek, the dude Dink Pate,
Well,
these are your players that you could
Clarkson
have.
going to get a whole lot of minutes.
That's what I'm
So-
saying. But these are the players you're gonna have for a long time coming. So
Yeah,
we do got to give up something to even develop players. And I guess you stay under that apron if you can.
yeah, we under it because
Because like, how about OKC? They should be way under, right? Because they drafted all the players.
yeah, they got but Yabusele, because he took a little bit less, is what kept us under the apron. That's what I was going to tell you the other day. Now let me ask you this then, getting back to that. Mikal Bridges.
Mhm.
So he is eligible for an extension this summer.
Mhm.
It hasn't been offered yet. Some are speculating on why he hasn't signed an extension, because it probably wasn't offered. Now, if he signs this summer, it's 4 years, 156 million. That's roughly 39 million, same as OG. Mind you, Brunson makes 34 million next year. If he waits till next year, it's like 206 million, something like that. So if I'm well, two things. One, the Knicks, do you give him extension now and let him play off of next year to be better without Tibbs? Or if you are Mikal, do you roll the dice and bet on yourself and hold out for the bigger contract? Now the Knicks can only give you the biggest contract because you under them. But do you hold out for the bigger contract next year?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm keeping Mikal. I'm giving them that extension. If we lost OG in the process, I wouldn't want to, but
Well, as long as you always got one of them.
yeah,
You're good.
if we had to take the one of them, Mikal not injury prone, knock on wood. Mikal played, to me, great, other than some nitpicky things we can, but that mid range of when he got the ball back and put the ball up, you know what I mean? Like you can't teach nobody that or get nobody to replicate that.
Right, and you get a coach that put that in your offensive repertoire for you.
And he was the man on two teams before the Knicks.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't marketable, but he was capable.
But that's why I say, by keeping him, by not having Tibbs and keeping Mikal, it's almost like you added another player. It's almost like you added a key piece, because the next coach was surely is going to unlock him. So just because they coach against him, they know what eats you alive. That
Right.
mid-range that only so many guys in the league can do. There's only but a handful of guys in the league that can effectively play the mid-range game, and we got one. Hell, we got two if you count OG, but we got one. Brunson too. So opposing coaches know that.
Right.
Yeah, so the Knicks, they, right now they're doing some nice things. If you want to lock Mikal up or you want him to play, that's up to them at this point. It don't matter to me if you re-sign him or not right now. In this case, because the way the league is and with the guys you got, if he's worth the money next year, you give it to him. If he's, obviously they wouldn't mind trading Cat if they had to. So it seemed like only one is untouchable to me. It seemed like to them is Brunson. He seems like the only untouchable one, because you done said you dangled everybody else out there.
Yeah, he's untouchable, but
He ain't untouchable to me. I'd trade him if I had to.
nah.
Listen, I don't want to mess up our team, but I don't want Brunson going into this season now.
Talking about, but that guard to me got to be just as impactful as he is in them clutch moments.
No, that's
there's a lot of guards that got that thing that they can do that. But if you're not trading him for another top guard, he is a top guard.
Well, this is what makes him. This is why you would keep him. A lot of the other superstar guards, they good for the whole 43 minutes. The last 5 is where they struggle. Brunson is excellent in the last 5. and particularly the last 3.
Right.
So that's where he's different. He's
Mm.
not a guy like when you count Westbrook and Beal and all those other guards when they had John Wall, that none of them could close.
Right.
They were all great entertainers, but when it came time to close, I'm trying to remember who's the last guard that you know in the NBA that could actually close. There ain't been many as far as point guards.
Maybe Steph Curry.
Yeah, he's a hybrid. Yeah, I don't know why. Sometimes certain people you mentioned, definitely Steph. But it ain't many. It
I'm
ain't
talking
many.
about.
Yeah, it ain't many.
And I mean like.
It ain't many. Even Murray is
I
not
mean
a
like.
closer
they
because
down.
you got Jokic.
I mean, only why I said Steph Curry. I mean, you down, and Steph Curry unlocked something, and he just.
Oh
take
no,
over.
there's no doubt about
He
it.
did it in the USA game.
Oh no, ain't no doubt about it. I just
He was
mean
like, "Oh,
that,
y'all think it's over?
yeah.
All right, watch this."
It ain't many guards right now. You know, a young Chris Paul. It ain't many guards right now that can close a game. Brunson proved he can close a game.
I just don't want Brunson to fall into that category of John Wall. He
Nah,
got to do something within himself to not fall into those categories of these guards that can't get over the hump. Like they giving you the players, they giving you the coaches.
Yeah, that's on him.
You know
now,
what I mean?
Yeah.
Now this is gonna be on you. You know what I mean? Last year
it was on him last year.
Yeah, if we nitpicking last year, you didn't have to do the stuff that you was doing.
Yeah, it was on him last year.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying he was passed first, but he was passed multiple times. And as these players, y'all can't be passing them shots neither. If he pass you the ball, you got to shoot it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do we need a shooter per se? Because them years that we was killing the game, everybody was shooting, even Randall.
Yeah, but we needed.
As broke as Randall jump shot was,
we needed.
He was hitting them shots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We had Mitch and the Hartenstein there to clean up. Josh Hart, as much as he don't want to shoot, he hits them open shots.
Yeah, but we needed that OG shooter though.
That shot in the corner. You know what I mean? We was lighting it up from 3. We just needed that consistency.
And we took the OG out of the corner this year.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Because Tibbs just whatever offense.
Not to mention OG wanted more himself.
And that's what made me nervous about Mike Brown. I hope it's not whatever offense or whoever offense.
No, we don't want that either. We want a game plan that has room to improvise.
Yeah, if this is their strength, play to their strength or get to the hole, because that's basically what OKC did.
Yeah.
You're not hitting them open threes, you get into the hole.
Yeah, and the guards got to drag the big man to the hole with them to dish off to.
Mm.
You know, you got to bring them along with you. So but again, with all that said, we sit pretty with the moves that we did make.
Mm.
And it's nothing but an upside.
We didn't make no major changes. That's what I did. I didn't want no major changes again. I felt like Randall was a major change, but it changed for the better. But I don't think we could keep playing like that. We can't be playing with fire like that.
Well, the Knicks are going into the season with pressure, regardless of our changes now, because of they almost trying to hand us the Eastern Conference crown. They say Atlanta and Orlando, did well. Detroit up and coming, but because of the injuries to Milwaukee, Boston, Cleveland fizzled out in the playoffs. Now, why Indiana gave away their center, I don't understand that one. Why would you do that with a center that got you to the finals?
They keep copping the plea for the Celtics and Indiana saying,
Indiana gave away a major piece.
Yeah.
So I don't know where Indiana going to do, but even without Boston being injured, now they done gutted their roster a little bit, and Cleveland fizzled out, which was mostly the injuries for them. They putting us up there again to be stars of the East. But now, do the Knicks accept that pressure with the injuries to the other teams? With Milwaukee and.
I mean, I think they should, because last year I didn't even know everybody didn't have the same idea as me. Like I knew we was getting to. I said I want to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I didn't think we was gonna get to the finals. I thought we was gonna play the Celtics. I thought we was gonna struggle again because the way Tibbs run his offense.
Yeah.
I thought we was gonna be run down and tired, and we beat them. I mean, yeah, we beat the Celtics, but we lost to Indiana. So this year, I can't see us not making it to the finals.
No, there's no reason not to, but we still got, to me.
I can see us still struggling with Detroit because they've been together so long.
No, but we've been together long too.
But I'm talking about something about Detroit and how they play. They play for each other. I'll be lying to you if I don't think this. If you talking about Mikal didn't sign yet, they didn't give him extension yet. I can see how there's frustration in the Knicks organization.
Listen, if we keep Mitch by adding Yabusele,
Mm.
I'm not now. With that said, I'm not
Mm.
worrying about any. I'm not worrying about nobody now. Of course, you want challenges, and everybody
Mm.
say you want teams to be good. Um, but now you
If we
have a
think that,
guy coming off. Now you got a forward coming off the bench who's going to be around the ball and look for his shot, who plays adequate defense.
if we
That's
think the
another
Knicks is
thing we
done,
didn't have.
mm.
He's going to look for his shot because you can see when you see all his stuff in Philly, all his highlights, he's coming to the ball. He's not just like, you got it over there, I'm coming across the lane. You swing it, I'm going back across the lane. He's giving himself an opportunity to get his hands on that basketball.
Right.
And he's challenging his guys. Like he'll put the ball on the floor and attack the rim.
Mm.
Our big guys don't do that either. Precious did it every now and then.
Mm.
But he's going to be around that ball, and then when you go back to his Olympic highlights, and he said himself, he learned a lot from that. It don't matter who's under there when he dunked on LeBron.
Mm.
I'm coming for you. And that's what we need. We needed a forward. You know, I always said if I wanted a stretch forward, but an active forward like him who's looking for his offense, please. I take that every day of the week. Though I still want a shooter.
Mm.
I still want a big shooter.
Man, listen, if you come in here late or the show's not live anymore, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. And spur of the moment, this is how we're going to be doing it all summer.
Yeah, let us know what you think. You know, do you like our picks? Or, you know, what about our draft picks? Does any of our draft picks this year hinder playing time from a lot of our draft picks last year? You know, so a lot of questions are still to be answered. I mean, because the summer league don't start for us until July 11th,
and they don't even got the roster for the summer league.
I think they
still adding players though.
Yeah, but we got the guys we picked up this year and the guys last year. That's half your roster. That's more than half your roster right there.
Right.
You know, look how many guys we got from last year. We got 6 guys from last year, and then we got at least 3 from this year. And then you filled out wherever you and then some guys that was on there last year. So we're gonna have a nice summer league roster, but I'm not totally sold on it. But I would like to see certain people play with certain people. Like I want to see Dadier and Kolick together. We know what Kolick and it's your boy Ariel. We know what they look like together. So whatever Ariel do, I ain't sold on it because we know he can do it. But he needs to touch the ball. You know, he needs that time in the paint.
Well, they also got to look like they progress too.
Yeah.
They got to look like if they talking about player development, we didn't have a coach. So what is your other staff that's supposed to be player development? What are they doing to make sure these players are in the best position they can be in?
Yeah.
So Pacone Dadier, he's a Knicks fan favorite, but I got to see more.
Yeah, he ain't my favorite.
I mean? Wasn't he one of your favorites though?
I mean, I like him, but I mean, every other team you get on the court, if you're not around the ball, then you got to do what Josh Hart do. Okay, but I like that he can shoot. He's an all-around player who can shoot, but you got to get out there and make it happen. Because you know now we got coaches that will probably allow you to do that. Tibbs didn't allow people to do that. But you know, but again, young guys is not what's going to help us this year unless they bring in the pain. You ain't bringing the pain, you can't help us. Because we can play through your mistakes if you're bringing something to the table. Like Josh Hart, when he throws the ball away, nobody don't ever say nothing. He just do his little, you know, because you know he's going to get it back fold.
But that's also because they playing whatever offense.
Yeah.
So if you think the person's going to be there, but they're thinking about something totally different, or they mind not in the game.
Yeah, that's what communication and practicing is. They have to practice and get a feel for people, especially you young guys. If you know Jalen Brunson is setting his man up and he ain't going to pass, when he make his move, attack that rim, get that ball off the rim.
And Brunson, we're not having that this year. This year, you got to swing that ball around and do it when necessary.
Look, you know what I see for Brunson? And I was thinking about this, right? There was a special with Chris Mullin a couple years back. And he talked about when they had Tim Hardaway Jr. And Tim would come down, do his freak, boom, boom. And he said he would tell Tim, listen, come down, swing the ball. When they come around back to you, do your thing. But let everybody touch it. And this is Chris Mullin, 50 greatest. Telling his guy, Tim is his guy. But he's like, listen, we know what you could do, but one man can't win by himself.
Mm.
Even if Chris Mullin, as the best player on the team, one of the best players in the league, look, swing it, it'll come back when it come back. You know, because they had Chris Mullin and Mitch Richmond.
Right.
You know, that run TMC. So that's how somebody got to be able to talk to Brunson.
Mm.
Let it go ahead. Like, get it out of bounds. Do the Jason Kidd and the Lonzo Ball. Kick it ahead.
Mm.
It's going to come back to you because you're the point guard.
Right.
And when it come back to you, now it's on you. And we all know it's on you, so we're going to play around you. You know, I ain't going to say simple basketball, but it's a mindset that you can catch people off guard. You catch them off guard.
Right. You need to keep it simple. But like I said, listen, we about to get out of here. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're gonna try to bring y'all some more content this summer. I gotta beat them in the free throw contest real
Never
quick.
gonna happen, yo.
You know what I mean? Knicks need free throws.
Never
Call
gonna
me.
happen. Never gonna happen.
Cause I just beat him at the barbecue on a little hoop.
Y'all
What more
can't-
he want?
Yeah, never gonna happen. Y'all can't see, but we got to shout out our camera person back there.
Wait. So now let's see if our camera person know how to take us out of here. You know what I mean?
Not that. Tell us something about the Knicks real quick. Take us out of here.
Take us out of here. We see y'all next time. Peace.